to Sleep Stories with the Slumbering Seagull. So wherever you are, underneath the sun or underneath the stars, get relaxed and comfortable and let yourself drift away. Seasons. Different love stories, wholesome and uplifting for the heart. Sunset strolls by the shore. Dinner with Ivy's brother went well. They got a lot more done than Clayton had expected. Clayton could see she was very smart and enjoyed her work. Ivy's brother had a great mind for law and had an even stronger background in cybersecurity. Wednesday finally rolled around. The enticing scent of freshly prepared lobster rolls filled the dining room as Clayton, Opal, and her father gathered around the table. Opal's dad, radiating with pride, placed a platter heaped with yummy seafood delicacies before them. "Help yourselves, everyone," Opal's father said warmly, taking a seat. "I hope you enjoy them, Clayton." Clayton's expression lit up with appreciation. "These look fantastic, sir. Thank you for having me over." As they began to eat, Opal observed how comfortably Clayton interacted with her family. She felt a flicker of jealousy thinking about the time he'd been spending with Ivy lately, but she quickly suppressed it, determined to keep her feelings hidden. "So, Clayton," Opal began, her tone carefully neutral, "how's work been treating you?" Clayton shared a story about a recent challenging project, and Opal listened intently, asking questions and offering encouragement. She welcomed the distraction from her inner conflict. The conversation flowed easily, covering various subjects. Opal's father recounted humorous stories from his job, while Clayton offered some insight from his past work experience on how the restaurant might be able to strengthen their online presence. During a break in the conversation, Opal brought up the upcoming event. "I'm really looking forward to the Veterans Fundraiser on Friday," she said, her eyes bright. "I'll be helping with the bake sale and food bank donations. It's such an important cause." Clayton nodded, already familiar with some of the details. "It's going to be a great event. Ivy and I have been working on some side projects for it. I'm excited to see how it all comes together." Opal felt a twinge on her chest at the mention of Ivy, but pressed on. "Oh, that's right. What kind of projects have you been working on?" As Clayton elaborated on his contributions to the fundraiser, Opal found herself genuinely interested, despite her conflicted feelings. The warmth of the dinner and Clayton's enthusiasm for the cause helped ease her earlier jealousy. The evening progressed with laughter and engaging conversation, the delicious lobster rolls disappearing from their plates as they enjoyed the company and the meal. The Veterans Fundraiser was in full swing at Yawnchester Park. Cheerful chatter and the aroma of grilled food filled the air as Opal made her way through the crowd, balancing a tray of homemade cookies from the bake sale. As she approached the information booth to drop off her contribution, she noticed it was unmanned. "That's odd," she thought. Clayton and Ivy were supposed to be here. Figuring they might be behind the booth restocking flyers, Opal decided to walk around. As she turned the corner, her heart suddenly dropped to her stomach. There, partially hidden by a large banner, stood Clayton and Ivy. They were huddled close, examining something on a table. "You're amazing, you know that?" Ivy said, her voice carrying just far enough for Opal to hear. "We couldn't have pulled this off without you." Before Opal could announce her presence, she saw Ivy lean in and plant a quick kiss on Clayton's cheek. "Excuse me," someone began to call at the unmanned registration booth. They all looked up. Ivy, Clayton, and Opal were all aware of each other now. Ivy gave Opal a warm smile and pointed to herself, saying she would help whoever was waiting. She casually made her way to the front of the booth. The world seemed to tilt on its axis. The tray of cookies suddenly felt impossibly heavy in Opal's hands. She stood frozen, unable to move or speak, her mind racing to process what she had just witnessed. Clayton took a step towards Opal, starting to explain, but was drowned out by the background noise of the festival. Opal quickly retreated, her cheeks burning and her eyes stinging with unshed tears. It was too much for her. She needed to step away. She placed the cookies on a nearby table, no longer trusting herself to make it to the bake sale without dropping them. "These are for the bake sale," she blurted out to Clayton with a forced smile. "Opal, can we talk for a sec?" Opal was on overload. She had turned away before he could finish his sentence. As she hurried away from the booth, fighting to maintain her composure, Opal's mind whirled with questions and doubts. Had she misinterpreted their relationship all along? Was there more going on between Clayton and Ivy than just friendship and shared interests? The festive atmosphere of the fundraiser now felt suffocating. Opal made her way to a quiet corner of the park, desperately needing a moment alone to gather her thoughts and calm her racing heart. The scenery blurred as Opal drove home, her vision clouded by unshed tears. The image of Clayton and Ivy laughing and sharing inside jokes, the way their eyes met, kept replaying in her mind. Opal's heart ached with the realization. "Who am I kidding?" Opal muttered to herself, gripping the steering wheel tighter. "Ivy's perfect for him. If that's what he wants, then that's what he wants. There's no way I'm going to make a fool of myself trying to fight over him," she declared to herself. Opal's lips moved in a desperate whisper. "God, please help me." She recalled how animated Clayton had been while explaining their project, his eyes lighting up in a way she'd rarely seen before. The enthusiasm in his voice when discussing coding concepts she barely understood still echoed in her ears. And let's face it, Opal thought bitterly, Ivy's gorgeous. Her beautiful dark hair, those expressive eyes, plus she's well-traveled and brilliant. During her internship, Opal couldn't help but notice that Ivy seemed overqualified for her current role. How can I compete with that? A pang of guilt hit her for these thoughts. Ivy had always been kind to her. It wasn't her fault that she and Clayton had so much more in common. Maybe I should leave Clayton be, Opal wondered. blinking back tears. Clayton deserves someone who understands his world, a partner who can truly connect with his unique perspective and lifestyle, someone who can engage him on an intellectual level, matching his tech-savvy expertise. As she pulled into her driveway, a wave of sadness washed over her. "We're just too different," she concluded. "He's all about software engineering and city life, and I'm just a small town girl who talks to plants and gets excited about composting. Who knows, maybe Ivy likes the idea of moving out to the city with him." She sat in her car for a moment, gathering her courage. "Well," she said, after some clarity set in, "I'm obviously not in a place to just act like this doesn't bother me. I don't think I can just be friends with him. At least for now," she thought. "It's better to end things now, before I fall any deeper," she decided. A thought popped in her head that it might already be too late for that. With a heavy heart, Opal stepped out of her car, the cool night air doing little to soothe the ache in her chest. She resolved to talk to Clayton tomorrow, to set him free to pursue what she believed would make him truly happy, even if it meant watching him walk away with Ivy. As she unlocked her front door, Opal couldn't help but wonder if she'd ever find someone